Hi, welcome to today, or this morning, should I say. I'm going to talk about not talk about, I'm going to bring to my audience the fact that there was a mass shooting. I heard about it yesterday through one of the creators. So I'm going to play. Put this on first in case. Right. It's in Georgia. It happened as well. Oh yeah, because someone else said it was in Georgia.
14-year-old students will be booked tonight, officials say. By Isabel Rosales, John Miller, Nick Valencia, Dakin and Dunn, and CNN. John King breaks down the big headline from new polling data. Here Liz Cheney endorse Kamala Harris for president. Strange noise coming from Boeing Starliner made astronaut contact mission control. McCain's son says he can never forgive Trump's comments about his dad. New poll shows whether Harris or Trump is leading in favorability rating. Protesters flood Israel's streets to demand ceasefire. Russian strikes hit multiple cities in Ukraine as children return to school. Here Israeli president's apology to family of killed hostage Irish Goldberg Pollen at his funeral. See what it looks like in middle of Tel Aviv protests sparked by death of hostages. Hostages killed, these sons of bitches who did this ought to be hunted down. Parents of hostage held by Hamas send message to Netanyahu. Robertson, unusual statement by IDF has raised expectations among families of Israeli hostages. Harris slams Trump over Arlington National Cemetery incident. What we know about the deadly Mississippi bus crash.
Oh wow.
Instead
So
of
still go
furniture,
through all of it.
this $1 million home is filled with marijuana. Former U.S. attorney on what he expects from the next Trump election subversion hearing. Waymo driverless vehicle reroutes into oncoming traffic. Why Democrats are suing Georgia's conservative-leaning election board. NHL All-Star player Johnny Gaudreau and brother.
Oh, it's playing something else. It's playing something else.
Support the Guardian. Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Director Chris Honey speaks during a press conference after a shooting at Appalachia High School. Photograph, Elijah Nuvelich/Reuters. Georgia high school shooting, student charged with murder after 4 people killed in Appalachia. Authorities say suspect, 14, also wounded 9 others, with FBI later saying they had investigated him and his father a year ago. 1 Harris condemns Georgia school shooting. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed at a Georgia high school on Wednesday in a mass shooting authorities say was committed by a 14-year-old male student at the school. At least 9 others were taken to the hospital following the incident at Appalachia High School in Winder, about 50 miles northeast of Atlanta. Officials said at an afternoon press conference that the suspect was alive and in custody, and surrendered quickly as officers, including 2 school resources officers, entered the campus and confronted him. Chris Hosey, director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, took the unusual step of naming the minor, Colt Gray, as the suspect. He said the suspect would be charged as an adult with 4 counts of murder. What is more important for me to mention here to you is my heartfelt sympathy to the parents, the students that were here, he said. He did not disclose what kind of firearm was used, or how it was obtained. Aerial video shows evacuated students in football field after school shooting in Georgia, video. The Federal Bureau of Investigation later issued a statement revealing that it had investigated online threats to commit a school shooting in 2023, and local law enforcement interviewed a 13-year-old subject and his father in nearby Jackson County. The statement did not identify the teen, but Georgia officials said the statement was in connection to the subject in custody. The father stated he had hunting guns in the house, but the subject did not have unsupervised access to them. The subject denied making the threats online. Jackson County alerted local schools for continued monitoring of the subject, the FBI said, adding that there was no probable cause to make an arrest. The Barrow County Sheriff, Judd Smith, became emotional as he spoke to reporters late on Wednesday afternoon. "This hits home for me. I was born and raised here. I went to school in this school system, my kids go to this school system. I'm proud of this school system," he said, holding back tears. "My heart hurts for these kids. My heart hurts for our community. But I want to make it very clear that hate will not prevail in this county. Love will prevail over what happened today, I assure you of that." Joe Biden and Kamala Harris separately condemned the killings. The U.S. president called on Congress to pass tighter new gun laws, in a statement issued by the White House, and the U.S. Vice President and Democratic Party nominee for president in the November election, called it a senseless tragedy and called for an end to this epidemic of gun violence. Harris added, "It doesn't have to be this way." Students at the school spoke of their terror at hearing gunshots and the sound of screaming outside their classrooms. It was the 385th mass shooting in the U.S. this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive.
Wow.
Students wait with others to be picked up by their parents after the shooting in Winder, Georgia, on September 4, 2024. Photograph, Megan Varner/Getty Images. Other reports said 5 high schools in the region, including Appalachia, had received phone calls on Wednesday morning threatening that a shooting would take place. Video on local TV stations showed students gathered on the school's football field, and at least 2 people airlifted to local hospitals by helicopter. A spokesperson for the Grady Health System in Atlanta said it received 1 gunshot victim. An official at Piedmont Athens Regional Hospital, speaking under condition of anonymity, said 1 adult was in surgery with a gunshot wound to the stomach, and a minor was being treated for unspecified injuries. Biden, in a statement, said the shooting was another horrific reminder of how gun violence continues to tear our communities apart, and called on Republicans in Congress to work with Democrats and pass common-sense gun safety legislation, including a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines and universal background checks for gun buyers. These measures will not bring those who were tragically killed today back, but it will help prevent more tragic gun violence from ripping more families apart, the president said. Police officers respond to the shooting. Photograph, Eric S. Lesser/EPA. Students caught up in the shooting described hearing gunshots and screaming. Senior Sergio Caldera, 17, told ABC News he was in chemistry class when he heard shooting. "My teacher goes and opens the door to see what's going on. Another teacher comes running in and tells her to close the door because there's an active shooter," Caldera said. He said the teacher locked the door and the students ran to the back of the room and huddled together. "Someone pounded on his classroom door and shouted 'Open up,' multiple times," he said, followed by gunshots and screams after the knocking stopped. Lila Sayarath, another student, told CNN how the shooter was unable to gain access to a classroom, and she listened as he turned and fired on students in a hallway.
Oh, wow.
"They didn't let him in and you could hear the gunshots," she said. "He never really talked, he was pretty quiet." Speaking of his previous school attendance, she added, "He wasn't there most times, he either wouldn't come to school or would skip class." Ashley Anna said she was at home. She received a text message from her brother, a senior at Appalachia, a school with about 1,900 students. "Just so you know, I love you," the text read. Students were evacuated to the school's football field, and later allowed to reunite with their families. Merrick Garland, The Attorney General said FBI and ATF agents were on the scene, and the Justice Department stands ready to provide the GBI and local authorities any assistance they needed. I'm devastated for the families who have been affected by this terrible tragedy, he said at a press conference at the Justice Department addressing alleged Russian interference in U.S. elections. The mayor of Atlanta, Andre Dickens, issued a statement on X. My prayers are with the high school students, staff, and families affected by the act of violence in Winder, Georgia, he wrote. APD Atlanta Police Department has also been on standby in case other law enforcement agencies need assistance with this incident. May God comfort the victims and their loved ones in the difficult days ahead. People leave the scene of the shooting. Photograph, Eric S. Lesser/EPA. The FBI field office in Atlanta dispatched agents to the high school to support local law enforcement, said Jenna Celito, a spokeswoman for the office. People in Winder, a city of 18,000 some 50 miles, 80 kilometers, northeast of Atlanta, gathered in a park for a prayer vigil later Wednesday night. Some leaned on each other or bowed their heads in prayer, while others lit candles to honor the dead. We are all hurting. Because when something affects one of us, it affects us all, said Power Evans, a city councilman who addressed the gathering. I know that here tonight, all of are going to come together. We're going to love on one another. We're all family. We're all neighbors. The U.S. has seen hundreds of shootings inside schools and colleges in the past 2 decades. The Gun Violence Archive reported there had been 384 mass shootings in the U.S. this year before Wednesday's incident in Georgia, and more than 11,500 killed by gunshots, excluding suicide. The group considers a mass shooting to be one in which 4 or more victims are killed or shot, not including the shooter. Chris Brown, president of the gun control advocacy group Brady, said, students across the country are returning to classrooms this week, and already we are witnessing yet another devastating school shooting. There is no world in which this is acceptable, no world in which our children should be forced to run and hide from shooters in school hallways, no world in which loved ones should have to wait, as parents in Winder are, to learn if their child will return home from school alive. Thoughts, prayers, and platitudes will never be enough. Gun violence is an all-too-American crisis that demands action. Reuters and the Associated Press contributed reporting.
That is so sad. The description of how they said that, how they can hear him walking through the hallway before hearing people being unalived in the hall, that is very chilling. That's a chilling thought. That's a chilling thought, that is, man. This seems to be continuing in America quite a lot of times, because last time, I think, I can't remember how long back it was, that Peyton guy. There was another one. There's been quite a few. And even how many did it say? Oops, wrong one. How many? Let me see. How many did it say in total shootings in all? You see them, they got pictures of them gathering outside the school. Let me see. That is chilling. That description there, the one where the brother says he loves his sister. Oops. So 18,000 people. Oh, that's the amount of people. The US have seen hundreds of shootings inside school colleges for the past decade. But I thought it was doing gun control. Hold on, let me get this bigger. Wow. My condolences to the family, because that is not good when you send your child to school and then you're thinking they're safe and in a place of safety, and a child, because they normally say that the child is normally got problems, got issues, um, bullying, all sorts of things going on. They're quiet, they're in themselves, they're into stuff, and this is the result of it. And it's not good. And I thought they said that there was an ease on arms in America, but maybe I'm wrong. You need to correct me. I saw this. One of the content creators was talking about it yesterday, so that's why I decided to bring it to the channel, because this happens a lot in America, a lot. Um, there's even a statistic to how many how many mass shootings there've been since that time. There's a data on it. Let me see, I can find the data. The database. Oops. So the database originally covered cases from 1982 to 2012, has since been updated, expanding the numerous times for analysts on this data. Let me see. Is it giving anything away? Let me see. What's it saying? Oh, the data count is pretty big. Oops. Okay, can't do that one. Let me see what else I can pull up.
Police interviewed suspect about shooting threats in 2023. The 14-year-old student accused of killing 4 people at his Georgia high school was questioned about online threats, which he denied having made, the FBI said. In a news briefing, the authorities said the weapon used in the shooting was an AR platform-style weapon. Published September 4, 2024. Updated September 5, 2024, 12:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Shooting at Georgia High School leaves 4 dead. The police responded to a shooting at Apalachee High School in Winder, GA. At least 9 others were injured. Hurry up now. Come on, let's go. What the, we got a whole school to get evacuated, people. Come on, now. Come on. Far left. Far left. Let's move with purpose. Come on. Yeah, really sad. It took us a while before we realized that she wasn't one of the victims. I mean, that's what, a good 45 minutes. Hour. An hour before we got word that she was okay. It was very terrifying. It's the least thing you'd expect to happen. I don't know how to explain the feelings. I mean, the fear. I have 2 children that go to Heyman Morris, which borders this school. And so first thing was immediately calling the schools. Then the text messages and stuff started coming through from the schools. Terror, absolute terror. The police responded to a shooting at Apalachee High School in Winder, GA. At least 9 others were injured. Pinned. Rick Rojas and Alessandro Marazzi Sassoon. Reporting from Georgia. At least 9 people were injured. Here's what else to know. A 14-year-old student opened fire at his Georgia high school on Wednesday, killing 2
14.
students and 2 teachers before surrendering to school resource officers, according to the authorities, who said the suspect would be charged with murder. Students, barely a month into the new school year at Apalachee High in Winder, GA, described their terror as a lockdown that they initially thought was a drill yet turned out to be anything but. They said they heard gunfire and barricaded themselves in classrooms, then later fled to the football field to reunite with anxious parents. The attack, which also injured 8 students and a teacher, stoked fear and anguish in Winder, a city of roughly 18,000 people in the exurbs of Atlanta, as the community grappled with a burst of violence that the local sheriff described as pure evil. Here's the latest. 1. Officials identified the 14-year-old suspect as Colt Gray, and said that he would be prosecuted.
So they're gonna put so it was a 14-year-old. Did he just say it was a 14-year-old? A 14-year-old. Why didn't the parent put the arms in a safe place away from the child? Anyway, I don't know. You can say a lot. I could say a lot of things right now. I don't know the situation of the boy's house. A 14-year-old. Wow. Let me see if I can find the top of this thing. A 14-year-old, you know. Oh wow. Anyways, my condolences to the ones who passed. I don't really know what to say. Really, I don't think there's anything I can say that can make that hurt go away for any parent. Being that how right you send the child to school thinking they're in a safe environment, and then you hear this, or you get a phone call from your child. I don't know what to say. Really, I don't think anything I could say can make their hurt go away right now because the school year has just started. Literally, the school year just started. Even over here, the school year just started. I cannot. I don't know how to put them to words. I don't know what can you say to a parent. What can you possibly say? Um, there was one. I remember there was one before in a shopping mall where people got unalived. This is a very regular thing. I think that they need to do a lot more than just go and well, they need to clamp down on the power pals. They need to do something because it's getting out of hand. It's like, you know, like I said, I don't know what I can say. I don't think there's anything I can say. The most I can do is send out condolences and hope that justice be served. I know the boy's only 14, but look at what he did at 14. I mean, walking through, people have to barricade, you know, and in fact, I do remember seeing people practicing. Well, if a shooter comes through schools and that, this is what they do. I remember there was those type of videos going around. I don't know. The world is just messed up. Honestly, it's messed up. It's messed up. 14 years old. That is just crazy. That's just crazy to me. Now, normally I don't cover mass shootings, but I thought I'll have to cover this one because when Sonia spoke about it yesterday, being she's in Georgia, she said, I think she said it wasn't that far away from her, I think she said. And I was like, wow, I think I know a few content creators in Georgia, I think it is, I'm not sure. But please be safe. Please be safe. I don't know. Um, you know, it's sad. It's a sad times. I'm telling you, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse by the minute. Right? And I did play it twice. I played it twice because they didn't mention his age at first, and then they mentioned his age afterwards. But they said they charged him. He's been charged he's been charged. A 14-year-old student, they charged him with murder. They charged him. So that's, I mean, they might wait for him to turn adult before they do the initial thing, probably because at one point I think they was also charging the parents of the shooters as well. So they haven't released a picture of him, which is interesting. Have they released a picture of him? Let me see if they released a picture of him. They haven't released a picture of him yet. Oh, have they? Is this him? No, that's not him. They haven't released a picture of him yet. So I think I'm going to keep an eye on this. Oh, yes, they have released it. Where is he? Is this him? Wait, is this him? See, I don't want to put it out and it's wrong. Where is it? There's so many. There's so many. Anyways, let me come off. Please keep your notifications on. I will be going on the dark side of Ocean Yumi later. Hopefully, fingers crossed. This is sad. It's very sad. It's always sad to hear about these things. I don't know. Every time I hear of an incident or something, man, I don't even know. Anyway, I'm not even gonna I don't know. I was gonna say I won't even sugarcoat. I just think it's sad. However you look at it, right? Right, there's always someone who has a niece, a nephew, son, daughter. That's how you have to look at it. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the parents receiving that news coming true, looking at it on the TV, and you see the school that your child's going to. Yeah, I don't know what to say at this point. I'm not even gonna I don't know. Anyways, please leave a comment underneath the live, or put praying hands or candles underneath the live, because you have to think about it. It's like one of those ones where, like as Sonia put it, you could be anywhere. You have to be so mindful of spaces and places where you are, as she said yesterday. You have to be mindful of the space, because you don't know what's in one's head. I wonder if I can find her video from yesterday, because she would explain it better. Because I'm saying her words, but maybe you should hear her own words, being that she's there. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Right, this is Sonia Adventure. Let me see if I could do this one. Do this one real quick. I'm gonna get to the part where she talks about her living in Georgia when this happened, even though it's named a different title, but she does talk about it.
Look what is happening here in America, has been happening. Too many school shootings to count. Too many school shootings to count. When you send your kids out these days, you just have to pray that they come back home safe. On any given day, anything can happen. Guys, 7 of you up here. Please drop a comment, drop a like as well. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. So guys, we want to talk about ungrateful people. I'm outside, so I'm doing well. So I came up with this topic because I did a video yesterday. You can get shot. You go to the supermarket, you'll be even sitting at the traffic light and somebody will just pull up on you and shoot in your vehicle. It's you go to school, I mean church. Gosh, it happened sometime earlier today, but somebody just brought it to my attention, and it's like it has just unsettled my nerves because it's in the area. It's right in my area. But anyway, guys, yeah, America is dangerous. It is.
Yeah, so you see, she said it's not that far. It's in the space where she is. So please send out positive vibes, so so one can be safe. Because really, it's like it's from one thing to the other. Life is so strange. Life is one of those ones where you never know. You could be somewhere, it could be innocent bystander, minding your own business, all sorts of things. And it's dangerous because it seems like that's what everywhere's dangerous, really. Everywhere's dangerous, okay, not just America. And I don't know how to I don't know, but my message to because let's not bring a child. I can say a lot of things on here. It doesn't bring a child back, right? You can make another child. It doesn't replace the child what you lost, right? So yeah. So you hear what Sonia said, okay? And I played it twice, and it's a 14-year-old. I'm not sure what he looks like. I think I see the image, but I'm not sure if that's him, and I don't want to put out a false image and it's the wrong person, okay? So the people have spoken as well about how many there is, and I can't remember the total. Strange, because I was trying how many yeah. Yeah, I can't see it. I can't see who the maybe because it's down to his age. Maybe they might release it later on. But there is another thing that I'm supposed to talk about, what Sonia also brought up, but I'm not going to put it on this one. I have to do it on another one. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it right here, in fact. Okay? So, with that said, I'll see you in the next live. Please put candles, praying hands under the live. And I'll see you in the next one. Send positive vibes. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Like she said, like he said, that how right you can pray when your children goes out. Pray over your children. Well, chant over your children. Put protection around your children. That's So with that said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.